My guides. When did I start working with them? How do I know who I'm speaking to? How do I know I'm getting a download? All in this question here. My first guides that I remember communicating with was when I was about 3, maybe 4 years old. They came to me as, you know, that book Where the Wild Things Are, like the monstery kind of. They looked like that. I don't know if I had read that book yet or not at that point, but I was going through something in my life at that time. Yes, at 3 years old, and they would come to me, and it was they were there to protect me, and to make sure that energetically I could handle what was happening in my life at the moment. And then after that, I kind of going through my traumatic childhood. When I was a teenager, I started getting more visits from guides. And the first one I remember as a teenager, he was an indigenous North American, and he is the one who introduced me to my gifts. And it was very slow to start. First thing I noticed was I would just have this clear cognizance. A friend of mine at the time, we were talking about somebody in her family who had passed on, and I was able to describe to her how this person passed, where they were found, what it looked like. And then I was talking to another friend of mine, and I looked at her and I saw her aura. And it was just little things here and there. I would just know things. I would have a very strong intuition. I received visions now and then. And as I got older, I would kind of go in and out, dabbling and learning and getting to know my gifts and my curiosity growing. And I was just, my journey was my journey. I could only handle so much at a certain time, so it was kind of slow going. And, but I remember being into witchcraft and spirituality and all this stuff when I was a kid and a teenager. But I got pretty serious about it when I was in my 20s. And the knowing when you're getting a download, it's kind of like your brain gets I used to call it like a thought bubble, like the thought bubbles that are above their heads in cartoons and stuff. And you would get this information in this thought bubble, but you could also compare it to like a computer file. You get information in a file or a thought bubble, however you feel like you get it. And then it's up to you to translate the information. So it's very important if you're working on these gifts to learn how. This is especially true for empaths. It's important to learn how to delineate between your energy and your thoughts and your feelings and stuff that's coming to you from outside sources, whether it be spirits, your guides, whether you're feeling somebody else's energy because you're an empath, stuff like that. Lots of people feel energy coming from outside sources, or scratch that. Lots of people, they have their own anxieties and fears, and they tend to project those onto other people, and they confuse the source. So if you're going around all day long with high anxiety and you're thinking everybody hates me, I just know that person hates me. Well, a lot of that is your anxiety projecting that onto them. That person doesn't really hate you. So ask your guides or your deities or your own self or source for the knowledge and the strength to learn how to delineate what is yours and what is from another source. And this brings me into discernment. That's basically what that is. Discernment is a type of intuition that you have to practice. So, if you are speaking to a guide, or if you're reading tarot cards or something, and some random entity pops in to say hi to you, don't automatically trust every entity you feel. If you are unsure of who it is, because if it's somebody you know, you're going to feel their energy, you're going to know their energy, kind of like a dog can sniff you out because they know you from someplace else. You're going to feel their energy, you're going to know their energy. It's going to feel comfortable, it's going to feel familiar. When they're pretending to be somebody, or they are trying to use you for one reason or another, or just mess with you, you're going to have that tiny little bit of doubt. You're going to feel it in your gut or in your mind, tiny little bit of doubt. And what you can do at that point is you can ask them, what is your agenda here? Tell me your name. Who are you? Do you have good intentions here? And they might try to lie to you, but you'll feel it. And that's your discernment, where you are using your intuition to suss out the problem. And I think that's a lot of our problems, is a lot of us don't trust our own intuition, because when we were kids and we would see dead people and remember our past lives and stuff like that, the grown-ups in our lives suppressed that. And so we didn't learn to grow with it. So you can start that now. Start practicing your intuition and your discernment, and claim your gifts. Reclaim your power. If somebody has been stealing your power and you want to awaken your gifts and get your power back, proclaim it to be so out loud. Mean it. Command it. I call my power back to me that has been stolen or given away. I am magical and my gifts are awakening. Magic flows from my fingertips. Every word I speak is manifested into reality. That's what abracadabra means. I speak into reality. So, get weird about it. I mean, really. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Just get weird about it. Okay, good luck. I love you. Bye.